On page 13, now we have a multiple choice question. It says the largest root of this function falls between which two consecutive integers. This is a question we actually had on the Unit 1 test. So I'm just going to go ahead and graph this function. I have the same window, which was negative 25 to 25 for y and negative 7 to 7 for x. We'll see if this works. So I'm just going to press graph here. It would be nice if I was over a little bit, but I do see that largest root. Maybe I'm going to go and make my x max go up to 10. We don't really need to see the min and max on this problem. So the largest root is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's between 6 and 7. So that would be choice 2. So I actually have a graph for this one already, so we don't have to take time to graph it on here. So that one is right here at the top of the page. I don't really mind. Basically, answer 2 is there. We have the next graph too. We'll talk about that one together and do that one. So this is choice 2. Okay. I'm going to go back to the blank one now. It says consider the quartic function x to the fourth minus 5x squared plus 4. So our general shape here, because it's x to the fourth and it's positive x to the fourth, is we know both arrows are going to point up because of that even exponent for the highest degree. The y-intercept in this case is the number at the end by itself, which is 4. And to algebraically determine those x-intercepts, we are going to take this equation and factor it. Now this is one of those with that fourth squared and a constant. So we're finding numbers that add and multiply to negative 5 and 4. And then in the front of my parentheses, I'm going to put an x squared. So those numbers that work are negative 4 and negative 1. These are both incomplete quadratics. So I'm just going to solve them. I'm going to move the 4 over. This one I'm going to get x squared equals positive 1. And then we'll take our square roots. So this is going to give me plus or minus 2. Take our square root. This one's going to give me plus or minus 1. So I'm expecting my roots over on the graph to be here, 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 and here. So I can see how I can fit this function with those 4 roots. Now I'm going to go to the calculator now. We'll actually get the graph, make sure all that stuff is confirmed on the calculator. So we have x to the fourth minus 5x squared plus 4. I'm going to start out, we have no clue, I know you just saw it, but pretend we have no clue where the window is. I'm going to make it go negative 5 to 5 because of what's here. And then we're just going to look at the graph. Okay. So this graph doesn't look too bad. It looks like it works. I think on this one, I don't have any information. One thing I do see, though, is this is shorter than this. So I'm going to try to reflect that in the window that I choose. So I'm maybe going to make my window go from, let's see, maybe negative 10 to 25. And then to me, that looks like it's pretty good in terms of having an even spacing from this. So on my graph, I'm going to put negative 10 to 25. I might have to change that from the ready-made one. I'm also going to find my mins and maxes. So I have 2 mins this time and 1 max. It looks like the max is the y-intercept, but we'll see. Okay, so that one's negative 1.6, negative 2.3. Then we'll find the maximum. Now this is something that happens sometimes. This actually means 0. When we see this e to the negative 7, it means a really tiny number. Sometimes your calculator has trouble finding the exact point. So this is the 0.04. And then the last minimum. Enter. 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 And so we have the 1.6 again, and then a negative 2.3 in that direction. So looking at my filled in one, I think something might be off here. I'm just going to cross that out. I don't think that's 504. I'm not sure where that came from. This should be just maybe a 25 up here to keep that balance. The maxes and mins, this is your second option, right? You could put them right here, okay? So those were the points we found. Those are my two relative mins. That's my one relative max. And I'm just going to change that back to the 25. And as I said, it would look fine with 504. I just want to kind of keep it balanced so that negative 10 and 25 kind of look proportional when we look at the graph. So the big idea of this lesson is that the graphs in the algebra still match, kind of like we've seen all year, and we can make predictions about the graph that do match with what the graph actually is.